Japanese Grand Prix, I believe.
I
Is that
believe
correct?
so.
And it beat what I've been told is one of the best Miracles players in Japan. He's the Brian Braun-Duin of Japan.
You think? Okay. All right.
Who do you think the best Miracles player in America is?
I don't know. I don't know.
I just know you can count on BBD playing Miracles in a Legacy tournament. He's played it a lot. He innovates it. You
Sure. Very nice.
what are you saying to me?
Just DVD play Miracles.
Go back to the last 4 invitationals.
You played Stoneblade in the Jersey GP.
So we've got some fact checking going on in real time. Taylor's getting called out, which is good.
We have to go look back at the last couple invitationals that BBD's top 8 because I think he's been playing Miracles at all those tournaments.
Interesting.
We'll look in between rounds.
All right, so we've got
Hopefully I'm not wrong because
Elves looks like it's keeping 7. Now it's keeping 7. It's going to keep 6, so it's definitely keeping 7, right?
Yeah, sure. That card's just a bonus. And the Deathblade deck has kept 7 as well.
Bant, Deathblade.
So does that put it on all the colors but red? Because Deathblade means black, right?
Look, man, I don't know.
Because it was Stoneblade, because it was Stoneforge Mystic into swords, and then Deathblade when they added black. Unless they're playing Death Render or something, like a really oddball piece of equipment that I'm not up on my legacy tech with.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out.
Alright.
Alright, the Symbiote joins.
The Fray. So these 2 cards are really important as they let him return permanents off the board to his hand.
Right.
And it can offer protection from the instant speed removal that Josh might have here. Also, both of them make a ton of mana.
Oh, yeah.
Once you get these things rolling, I mean, I can't do the math on it because I'm not that familiar with Elves, but I would guess that Daniel could have 8 mana next turn.
8 mana next turn. Holy smokes.
So he plays another land.
So that's 3 mana.
Query Ranger, I guess he doesn't have a creature that taps for mana. That would really increase the count.
Yeah, he needs a Cradle or a Priest.
Right. To really open it up. Alright, so the banter at the table indicates that Daniel was playing as if Josh was playing a Miracles deck, but the Stoneforge Mystic definitely changes the...
How much you pay for that Jute?
What?
How much would you pay for that Jute?
I would look up NM, a near mint one on Star City, and pay roughly 40% of that.
40%.
Unless it was a Klug Jute, I'd probably pay 60% for a Klug Jute.
Does the name mean that much to you? I mean, I agree that Klug does tremendous work.
He's just...
But you saw it there, so...
I didn't get a good look at it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, seeing it I'm looking at it on a screen. I would want to hold up my hand. I mean, Eric Klug's extensions are almost seamless. Nobody does it like he does.
Okay.
Most extension jobs are not anything I want to look at on a regular basis. All right, Daniel's going in the tank here.
Here's the Guy's Cradle. Now he can generate some mana.
Oh yeah. So here we're at 3, 4 for the natural order. Force of Will removing Thopter Foundry from the game. Putting into the exile zone, really.
Really.
Force of Will reads removed from game, but we put him in the exile zone. probably ratted. Probably the one on Magic Online says exile a blue card. The Modern Masters one I'm sure does. Or the Eternal Masters.
So we've got some choices here.
Yeah.
Noble Hierarch can come down, and then you can sit on your Stoneforge activation.
Right.
Or I think he's also got a Shardless Agent.
Okay.
But Shardless Agent isn't nearly as good when you don't have the setup for it.
Sure, you definitely want to... It's a Brainstorm setup, I'm assuming, right?
Right.
So, Daniel, even though he didn't resolve a spell last turn and he sacrificed a creature, it wasn't like he took a turn off. He got in for some damage.
Oh my, this is a spicy one.
This is a... Can we pull this one up on the screen for everybody to read?
So this is from the new Conspiracy set, correct? We'll get it up here
Yeah, I
eventually.
believe so. We're going to get it up here soon. And so he did sit on the Stoneforge activation, putting GT into play. So this is just, I mean, if you connect one time with this GT, it's real good.
The first time that you connect with it is the most important.
Concur.
Here we go. Leovold.
Emissary of Trest.
Offering GGs. Can't draw more than one card each turn. Shuts down Brainstorm.
Uh-huh.
And whenever you target anything of his, he draws a card, which is very awkward.
Man, it's going to keep a handful. Okay. Alright. So he attacks with the Exalted Trigger. It's a 2/3 coming in.
Strong play from Josh.
Alright, the GT counters are going to take down.
I don't know if you should draw a card off of that or not, but... Oh, yeah, there it is.
Alright, so we move the card, and we are playing at a competitive REL, so we missed that draw trigger.
Which is totally reasonable.
So this is where Jesus Cradle's a little bit of a liability. He's got 3 mana now instead of, 4. Or
He drew off of the Abrupt Decay, but he did not draw...
No. He's got Dryad Arbor.
Yeah. But he did not draw off of the GTA activation.
Correct. Alright. So Josh chooses to target Dryad Arbor with the GT activation, not the Reclamation Sage. Which seems reasonable. I mean, it was acting in 2 roles as a land and a Cradle count. Alright. Untaps, we got more. This is interesting because it almost as if the Elves deck is playing the reactive role here.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's been forced into this role.
Because of the GT.
Which is where you want to be if you're the Deathblade player. But now he's got the Brainstorm. He's got the Shardless Agent. Does he have another land? Oh, he has the Noble Hierarch, so he doesn't even need it. So he can set this up.
I also see Jace the Mind Sculptor in his head.
Sure.
So that's another super powerful play. If you get that guy down, and you get all the options in the world. Alright. These brainstorms can get super tricky. He might not have a black mana to play, so he might not be. You might be stuck on the Shardless Agent.
Shardless is 1 blue-green.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always think that card is a black card for some reason.
Oh, man, I would be in heaven.
Alright. So we figured out what 2 are going back on top. Here's 3 cards. The Shardless Agent.
Oh wow.
Oh, he's just getting these lands out of the way. Interesting.
So getting a lot of the lands out of the way. Seems pretty good here.
Yep. Yeah, that was an interesting play. Is that I have no idea if that's like a standard thing to do with your
I mean, if you're flooded, then
yeah, just putting 3 or 4 to the bottom is awesome. Alright, so this is one of the operative cards. I was talking to Josh before the round. I've known him for a while, so he's very excited to play this opposition style deck. It's kind of a cool one. And Daniel's definitely reading. This card was one back in the draft days. Woo-wee!
sure.
Putting that opposition in your deck was a nice feeling. Alright, so Josh is going to get... what opposition does is it has an activated ability of if a creature... You can tap a creature to tap target permanent.
Mm-hmm.
So Josh has 2 chances at it here.
Oh, look at that opposition art.
Artifact, creature, or land.
So we're gonna tap the Guy's Cradle.
Okay. And so then we'll probably get another activation before combat, I imagine. Or if we were to play a 3rd elf while the elf is on the stack, I imagine I would... Not sure what happened there. Okay. So he attacked, and Daniel Pandlehaven, the Heritage Druid, and that just took down the Shardless Agent there. Oh man, see, there's a good Shardless Agent. He's a 2nd Stoneforge Mystic. What targets does he have?
Batterskull
Batterskull's
is
the
the
next
operative
one.
one here.
Okay. Is that it? We see GT Batterskull, or does he have 1 sword in there?
We have a sword, but it's not the one you're thinking of.
Of the Meek?
Of the Meek.
I saw the Thopter Foundry earlier, so...
Sure.
That combo is strong.
Yeah, we're in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Thank God we're not in Wisconsin. I might have to root for Green Bay if I lived in Wisconsin. That would just be a travesty.
Man. Alright, so tapping him out on upkeep.
Alright. He's going to generate 0 mana. He's going to have... You can attack for 3, I guess. Or if he has an elf here, it's a big game. Just a 1 mana elf would be...
Yeah, might as well attack for 3 here.
Okay. Alright. Untapping. So I really think Josh is in control of this game here. I don't know what else you want in the world.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
You've got your opposition, you have many, many creatures, you have all the mana you want. You have a Batterskull in your hand and a Stoneforge Mystic on your board.
See, I'm not sure about the block either. I don't know if he was playing around something, or if there was like maybe he's worried about some instant being played, and so he didn't have a problem with Pendlehaven being tapped.
Here's something that happens to me. I don't know if it happens to me or I do it to myself. But when an opponent plays a land and they don't like announce it,
Mm.
I just miss that it gets into play. So I don't know if Josh did that, or sometimes you just blank, like you just have a brain fart. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's tough. All right, so upkeep's coming here. We're gonna tap something. I imagine the Cradle and the Pendelhaven are get tapped. All right, those three get tapped.
So, in response, you could just tap the Pendelhaven to grow his Heritage Druid.
Sure. It's a small miss, but these small misses matter.
Absolutely. I mean, that miss could be the difference between killing this Jace the Mind Sculptor and not killing it.
Sure. All right, so Daniel's gonna search, and I think I saw Natural Order in his hand.
Oh my.
Natural Order, his best target is the Craterhoof Behemoth, but he only has one other creature in play, so that gives him two. Gives him like a. I'm trying to calculate. A 4/3 Trampler and a. Oh, he sacrificed the Dryad Arbor, so
Yeah, that's smart.
yeah, I misplayed there myself. My head. So he has 3 creatures in play, and that gives him a +3/+3 and trample to his guys. So it's a full overrun.
So we have a 5/4, a 4/4, and Craterhoof Behemoth, I believe, is a 5/5 base, so an 8/8.
I'm wondering if you put the Batterskull into play, or you opposition down 2 of the guys and just let your Jace go.
Yeah, I think oppositioning is more important here because of this trigger.
Concur. Yeah, I would opposition down the Elves, and let him make the choice between the Craterhoof and the. Okay. Alright, so he attacks Jace for 4.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, it's a very. I mean, that's. He traded one of his best cards, Natural Order, for.
I mean, admittedly, Jace the Mind Sculptor is one of his best cards as well.
That's why I was about to finish the sentence.
Oh, okay.
I was
Well, I'm
just
proud of you for getting
pacing
there.
it.
You got there.
I did. Alright. Oh gosh. My mic is falling.
We just high-fived so hard that his mic flew off.
Flew is a generous term for
You had to
what it
walk across the room and pick it up.
It would be really funny if we had a competition of like, all right, draw a picture of where you think we're sitting right now. Just because you guys can't see us. And you mentioned across the room like 4 or 5 different times.
That's
So
true.
Anybody that's listening to us on a regular basis might think we're sitting in a gigantic auditorium.
I don't think anybody thinks we're in an auditorium. Another death right.
And just every creature he plays is just fantastic because he gets to tap more and more stuff.
True name Nemesis.
Gosh.
We have a win
I
condition.
wonder if True Name Nemesis is ever going to wear a Batterskull.
Seems reasonable.
Seems probable. Alright, upkeep. Alright, so he chooses to just tap the Cradle.
I think that's the right decision at this point.
Right, and so he's going to do here is he's going to hopefully let him move to combat, tap some creatures. Dan's only got 2 cards in hand, and he's really done throwing haymakers, I think. It's time for Josh to turn the corner, get this Batterskull into play, equip this True Name Nemesis with it, and go to town. Alright, this is interesting. He said combat. Josh says okay. And so Daniel knows about Batterskull in hand. And we're going to see Josh has the ability to activate Stoneforge Mystic to put the Batterskull into play.
It just passes.
Alright. And so now Josh has 4 creatures. He can tap down the... Activates Deathrite Shaman to...
So he
deal
ate
2
natural
damage?
order, dealt 2, tapping creatures,
Alright, perfect.
missed a trigger because we could have tapped the germ token, but that's fine.
That's okay. He's still in plenty of control of this game here. Really seeing how opposition does work. Moves the Batterskull onto the True Name Nemesis. And now this card's going to attack for 7 lifelink. Alright.
Alright, so we're going to be able to beat for 7, so a 14-point life swing.
Yeah, 2-turn clock.
Can we just kill him here? So, so he's 7, 8, 9.
Oh, we missed the Exalted triggers there, too.
Oh, sure, so that's 9.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Looks like he missed the Exalted triggers as well.
That's okay. You're allowed to miss the triggers.
It does have Vigilance, and you can't miss that.
Right. Alright.
But it's game anyway.
Doesn't much matter at that point. Interesting. Alright. So, coming into the sideboard, looking at Daniel's list here. He's got Pithing Needle,
Okay.
which I think that would shut down a lot of cards in this Bant opposition deck.
Does he have
Opposition-
Abrupt Decays?
Yes, he has 4 Abrupt Decays in the sideboard.
Bring him in.
Bring them in. We'll take them all.
Yeah, so you want to have lots of answers for Jite.
Uh-huh.
You want to be able to have an answer for Stoneforge,
Okay.
so you can shut off this Batterskull.
Okay.
Let's see. Thopter Foundry is a good target.
Sure. So we got 6 ins. His outs, I imagine, are going to be Elvish Visionaries.
It seems like you could definitely shave that card.
Because I don't think you're gonna. Elvish Visionaries are for the matchups where you're gonna grind. They pair well with the the Wirewood symbiotes, so that you can return them to your hand and draw another card like every turn.
Right. They also help in comboing off. So we just got an update that the Omnitel deck just beat the Eldrazi deck.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
I love that deck. Omnitel's a big. It just does so many amazing, powerful things. So yeah, definitely Abrupt Decays, possibly Pithing Needles. From Daniel.
Alright, on this on the other side here, this Bant opposition deck has a lot of one-ofs. Really depends on what version of the Elves deck he puts him on. So if he's just like aggressive Elves, then this extra Abrupt Decay out of the board is good. Supreme Verdict is good. But if he puts him on the more combo-y version, like this Grafdigger's Cage becomes much better. I'm not sure you need it here,
Right.
but it's an option. Also have access to a couple of swords, which could be very good at stopping some of the more explosive Elves' hands.
Sure. Yeah, I mean. Yeah. I don't know how combo. I mean, I guess he does have the Glimpse of Nature. That's really the card, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
It
the one.
indicates that you're the combo deck.
Of note, this Bant deck also has an Aethersworn Canonist, which can come in.
Oh, cool.
a singleton. It doesn't stop him a whole lot, but it definitely shuts down the combo-y Elves turns.
Ether Swarcanus is great. Forces all players can only play one non-artifact spell a turn. All right. I'd like to say thanks for Daniel from coming down from Columbus.
Oh, he's a Columbus guy?
Yeah. And that's really a testament to the legacy format. The people that love this format love it.
Yeah, they'll travel far and wide.
They'll make time and travel to. I mean, not like Columbus is that far away. It's like an hour and 15, hour 30, depending on what part you're coming from.
Sure.
Especially to the northern reaches of Cincinnati here, but still a drive. Further than I've ever driven for a local.
Yeah?
Either that or he just really wants to be at the Invitational.
Yeah, that's also very true. There's a lot on the line here for this 17-man Legacy tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the pot is sweet. I think it's... man, this is one of the cool starts in Legacy. Green Sun Zenith into Dryad Arbor, so it's almost like having a Llanowar Elf here.
Absolutely.
But you also get to shuffle your tutor back into the deck.
Right.
So now you have this card that you're going to draw later in the game that's going to bring you out any card you can think of that you really want to. Your Reclamation Sage, your Emissary of Trest.
So he's got a Swords here and a Noble Hierarch. Which are you a fan of on turn 1?
I'd probably play the Hierarch. Daniel's going to get mana anyway.
Sure, but
And so,
setting him back a turn is a huge deal.
I guess. I don't know.
Clearly, Josh agrees with you.
He's keeping up. Is my point.
Yeah, yeah. This Elves deck can, once it hits this critical mass of mana, though, it can just explode.
Yeah.
And have a huge turn.
Oh man,
and if we're starting on this glimpse,
2 the critical mass of mana?
Can be.
Queen Ranger draw card. Hopefully he's got a land and a follow-up here. All right, fetch land. 1 to 18. So the other thing to think about on Swords versus Hierarch there is the Swords gains value as the game goes on.
I don't know that it does. So you can hit Craterhoof Behemoth with it, which is a big creature. It's great.
Right. I'm more interested in hitting Heritage Druid with it.
Sure, but if he's casting the Heritage Druid and drawing a bunch of cards now.
Yeah, but you can get these turns together where you
So the
Where
Swords.
did he generate the mana?
He can untap a land by returning a creature.
Well, he returned the forest.
Or he untapped a creature, by returning a land. So
why
he
does it
untapped
matter?
the Dryad Arbor.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, I missed. See, Swordsing there that's a much better target than the Dryad Arbor.
I mean, if you target the Dryad Arbor last turn, you stop him from drawing 4 cards.
3 cards, but sure.
Keeping this hand full.
Yeah, man, he has drawn all the cards. This is kind of the combo-y portion of the deck, where you can churn through a bunch of cards. You can get A lot of permanents in play. And here comes one more card to add to the fray. We think.
I think he's worried about like a Supreme Verdict or a Wrath of God here because he can't obviously win this turn. And he wants to give himself enough gas.
Yeah, this
Well,
is
the
like a
untap.
setup turn.
Right.
Alright. Alright, Daniel with 5 in hand, Josh with a full grip of 7, I believe. Here's a fetch land.
Fetch for a tropical island.
So he's got all his mana. I don't see black.
Yeah, he doesn't have black, but I don't know how important that is.
Well, for these abrupt decays,
Sure.
it could be important. But we're seeing Supreme
And there's the
Verdict here.
Supreme Verdict. Good read by Daniel.
Yeah, by not going any further. He gets the Dryad Arbor, though, and these 3 creatures, which... Alright.
So that definitely sets him back. Could have been much worse.
So he almost gained as much card advantage on that Supreme Verdict as Daniel gained on his Glimpse of Nature. So we're kind of back to parity here.
Almost, yeah. And there's the Canonist.
Sure.
It's going to shut down any further shenanigans.
Alright, here comes another Dryad Arbor out.
It's just kind of a tell that he's got a Cradle in hand.
So if you're going to fetch up any land, his options are Forest, Dryad Arbor,
Bayou?
and Bayou. And so you have to be prepared to draw Cradle, even if it's not in your hand.
The beatdown.
So I think Dryad Arbor is probably the right call there.
Alright, a force on the Symbiote.
Removing the opposition from the
Yeah, not enough creatures to really make opposition worthwhile here.
right.
Oh, he has a duplicate opposition as well. So,
Okay.
so it looks like we're going to fire off a Shardless.
Okay. That's a way to start a turn. Here's a Brainstorm. 3 to the grip. Stoneforge Mystic, Abrupt Decay, fetch land. And that was a heater.
So as much as I'm sure he's attached to this opposition, I like burying it here and just shuffling it away.
Okay.
I don't feel like you're getting a ton of value off of it.
Yes, because Shardless Agent is an artifact creature.
Judge.
We got a Judge Call over here.
It's an artifact. Oh yeah, you're right. You're good. Never mind, we're good. Never mind, we're good.
I didn't know that either. I've never played all these together. I don't know if any other people do.
Alright, so, yeah, it looks like we're burying the opposition.
Go ahead.
Alright, so we put opposition Windswept Heath back and played a Flooded Strand, which is going to probably fetch here at end of turn. Do you think an attack earns a block?
No.
Alright.
Yeah, 7 is a low life total, but you're setting up for something here. And once you resolve this Stoneforge Mystic, you'll be in much better shape, and you have the Abrupt Decay.
Right.
Opts to not fetch. I don't like that.
Alright.
I think a random card's way better than an opposition here.
Yeah, opposition definitely is. Alright.
If he's allowed to connect with his Jutei, that could be a big game. I'm kind of surprised to see him not going for
Yes.
the Batter Skull here at 7 life.
Yeah, I mean, GTA's got the capability of generating some life itself,
Sure, but
but Batterskull does provide a huge body as well.
right. All right, so down to 6. David Hwang is fetching as well.
Everybody fetches. Everybody shuffles.
So much excitement.
If you love shuffling, Legacy is your jam.
Yeah.
People.
Does anybody actually love shuffling?
Yeah, I do like shuffling quite a bit.
Okay.
Especially if my sleeves are in the new phases.
Okay.
I find it soothing.
All right.
All right. So Josh has Abrupt Decay up. Passes the turn. And Daniel knows that he has GT in hand. I think this is just one of those situations where he's kind of calling Daniel's bluff. He's just like, all right, listen, man, you got to do something now, or this GT is gonna take over this game.
Yeah, the
If
GT
you-
is definitely primed to take over this game.
If you let Josh untap, I don't know. If you let Josh untap without doing something significant this turn, I don't know that you can win this game. And time is running out to do that. Alright. The Death Rate Shaman, probably.
Yeah, this has got to be the Death Rate Shaman. So, Josh down to 4.
Alright. And so now, do you have to put the GT into play and equip and attack with it?
It's probably the right call.
Yeah, we're going to put it on the... Alright. Get Triad Arbor out. Make it a 2-3 versus Josh's 1-2.
So he has to burn both counters to kill any of those creatures this turn. You can just wait and then kill the Dryad Arbor on upkeep.
Correct. Ooh, easy, easy, Josh. Take a deep breath.
Finishing it off.
Alright.
So he could just on untap, pump the Dryad Arbor again in response to the first Tuesday trigger.
Oh, sure. So it's going
Which
to cost
forces
him
him to
2
cost 2
counters either
anyway.
way. Alright, here's a natural order. For
6/6 Progenitus.
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 Wowee.
This card reads protection from everything,
Yeah, you can't target it with anything.
and it came in out of Daniel's sideboard.
Very nice.
This is one I did not expect.
Definitely has protection from opposition.
Concur. Definitely, this GT doesn't matter. I'd cast the Shardless Agent just to see if...
Yeah, you can't deal with a Progenitus here.
I'm trying to
So
think if he's got another...
there's just nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's
you could
if
try
you
to
had another
Supreme
Wrath of
Verdict?
God or Supreme Verdict, whatever, yeah.
But it has to be in hand.
Right.
Judge?
We have a judge call. So we're going to confirm that... I think he's going to confirm that...
Target Progenitus. Opposition. No, it's protection. Yes.
Okay, yeah, we're just confirming that opposition...
Confirming the
can't-
definition of everything.
Does everything mean all things?
All things.
Yeah, see what's up. Is that a coiling oracle?
It's a coiling oracle.
All right. All right. Here we go to game 3.
On to game 3.
That's an exciting one.
Unexpected Progenitus. I like it.
Yeah. So Josh is playing the Force of Wills, and I think really that's the only protection he has against Natural Order.
Sure.
All right, so we're gonna bring that other Force of Will back in.
Mm-hmm. I think he realizes that. This Natural Order is going to be the big game here. That's the operative interaction he needs to stop.
Absolutely.
Round 1 was Goblins versus Miracles, with Goblins winning 2-0. No, 2-1, sorry.
2-1.
2-1.
You're correct.
2-1.
We have some sideboarding going on, trying to get the exact
Oracle text on
oracle
opposition.
text on opposition. So he
Bringing
can,
in Pithing Needle, I think.
right. So what you're looking for there is Pithing Needle reads activated ability. So when you're looking at the oracle text, you're looking for that colon.
Yeah. I think he's more worried about, like, in... can't remember the name of the card, but whether it gave the creature the activated ability or the opposition has the activated ability.
Oh, sure.
So if it was like shoving match, where
Going deep.
shoving
Going-
match gives the activated ability to all your creatures.
That's a red card, right?
I believe it's 2 in a red. Yeah, I think it's red.
This is where we get to see if our front end guy's paying attention. If he puts shoving match up on the screen before they're done sideboarding, I'm gonna.
I'd be very happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, heaven forbid an obscure card that we're thinking of, winds up on the screen.
That would be weird if it just magically appeared. It's like they were reading our minds or listening to our voices.
Listen to the sound of my voice. That's an opposition. That is not a shoving match.
So there's the opposition where you see that the activated ability does belong to the opposition. So you could play Pithing Needle, name opposition, shuts it down.
Right. It's got the colon. I think about it like an equation. Like you pay the left, you get the right.
In this case, you pay the top, and you get the bottom. And here's shoving match, 2 in a blue.
Shoving match.
Until end of turn, all creatures gain tap target creature. So the same thing, except it gives the ability to the creatures. And it is an instant instead of an enchantment.
So little do most people know, but Mercadian Mass was actually the Watchmen crossover set. All the blue guys were... What's the dude's name from the Watchmen? Why can't I think of that guy's name?
Why can't you think? I can't think of it. Mr. Manhattan.
Yeah, Mr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan. Excuse me.
He didn't go. He didn't go to 7 years of medical school in New York City to
Right.
become Mr. Manhattan.
Right. My apologies to the good doctor. All right. Here we are in game 3, the pivotal round.
I don't think that Manhattan reference had anything to do with the city either. I think it was the Manhattan Project.
Probably. Which did have something to do with the city, so, you know.
By way of.
Yeah.
I thought it was in Arizona.
It was, but the name Manhattan Project was because the technology was developed in Manhattan.
All right, there you go. So we have a Deathrite Shaman, and
Are we going to follow this up with a Coiling Oracle?
pass with a. I'd be down.
You're down with the Coiling Oracle here?
Yeah, all the snakes. Is a Deathrite Shaman a snake?
No,
Or is
it's
it
a human.
shaman. Okay. Oh no, it's an elf.
Yeah, that's right. It's an elf.
So
Man, I missed
Daniel's-
that card in Modern.
Daniel starts with a Nettle Sentinel.
That's a very strong card to lead with.
Yeah. 3 mana here. Oh man, So when you have a Shardless Agent on the stack and your opponent shuffling your deck, you really make them feel like they're controlling their own
Right.
fate.
What are you gonna give me?
What are you gonna give me?
A swords here would just be choice.
Yeah, it would be a nice one.
Coiling
Oracle.
We got our Coiling Oracle anyway.
As predicted. Oh, come on, land one time here. Yes!
Living large.
That is fantastic. So Josh is gonna have up to 5 mana next turn.
All the mana in the world.
I mean, what
He
more
has
do you
the
want in life?
Jite in hand as well.
Just... Alright. So, this is the wrong activated elf creature to have here.
So
You
he
want-
only drew 2 off of Brainstorm.
Really?
Yeah, and I think he's just putting the same 2 back. That's weird.
Really?
I think we have to resolve that properly. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to stop the game over it either.
No.
We're well past it now, so. So if he would have drawn, if Daniel would have played Wirewood Symbiote here instead of, I don't know if he has it, but that's a really good card to keep a GT at bay for a minute.
Sure.
Because you can block with an elf, return it to your hand, and then the creature doesn't deal any damage, so the GT doesn't get any counters.
Right.
So it's not, I mean, it's not ideal, but like you can definitely do some work.
Not playing the Jite.
All right. I think if he would have had 4 mana there for sure, he would have GT equipped attack.
He did have 4 mana for sure because he put the land back on top of his library.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, with that Brainstorm, where he just drew 2 cards and put 2 back. Either Sword Candace is strong here. He's so far ahead on board.
Yeah, this is really gonna.
The only way this is gonna end poorly is if Daniel has one of those go off Elves turns, and either Sword Candace really shuts that down.
Concur.
There's the symbiote.
Yeah, so there's the symbiote that I was talking about. He's going to be able to handle this GT. So I would put the GT on a Coiling Oracle. Because you're going to lose whatever creature you attack with first. Alright.
So I'm not crazy about the attack, but there's nothing else he could have really done. I mean, swung with more creatures, sure.
Right. Yeah, I wonder if you could tempt him with the Canonist.
I don't want him drawing Canonist at all. Or I don't want him killing Canonist at all. Like, that's shutting off one of the major game plans here.
Avenues to victory.
But, like, you draw a Force of Will. You saw last game what happened when he resolved a Natural Order. And here it is again.
Alright. I think Josh can live through this one. Oh no, it's Progenitus. You're just dead.
It was the next card. Thankfully, did not draw that one. Alright, so
So Josh, here's what can happen.
Josh is on the clock. He has 2 draw steps now.
He's got more than that. So what can happen here is that he can use Deathrite Shaman to keep his life total above 20. So
Sure.
that makes Daniel have to attack 3 times with Progenitus.
Alright.
Um
Does he have multiple creatures in the yard?
Daniel has 1 for sure. But the first time he attacks, he gets to... What's this other card here? Interesting. Okay, alright.
Oh, a turn too late.
Man. That's brutal. So Grafdigger's Cage here, what it prevents him from putting creatures from the library into play.
I don't understand why we're not attacking with everything here.
Yeah, neither do I. I was hoping that. See, if you don't attack and you let him attack with the Progenitus, holding back just the Deathrite Shaman, I think you can you can go to 10 and then hopefully the Cheetah can get counters. If like you draw something here that kills the Wirewood Symbiote. So you have to kill the Wirewood Symbiote, equip the Jite, attack in, and then you get to go to 14.
Yeah, but he doesn't get to kill it here.
Right. I'm just saying you gotta play to your outs.
Sure.
When facing down something like Progenitus, it's just gonna kill you.
I think staying alive for one more turn, hoping to draw the Supreme Verdict is your out.
Concur. But he can't. I mean, Progenitus is a 10/10.
We can gain
Oh,
2
you
more
can
life
gain
here because
2
it's
on
a
the
Shardless
Charles
Light.
Agent in the bin.
So if Supreme Verdict you're out, I don't know why you're casting this Noble Hierarch.
Right. Alright, there's the Symbiote. Alright.
That is not a Supreme Verdict.
Nope.
And that'll be game.
Alright. So we gotta run quick here because